Okay, we're ready? Yep. Well, first of all, what goes, take me through when it happened, what's going through your mind, what you're feeling.
Yeah, it's one of those situations when I've riding for the last 20 years. I've hit the ground quite a few times in the past, and a few times you've known when you hit the ground and you break a bone, you kind of know it right away. But then on Sunday, it was a completely different thing, because when we hit the ground and that horse stepped on my chest, I turned over and I kind of knew right away that I had some broken ribs, but I never expected it to be to the impact that it was with the lacerated liver and the collapsed lung. You just have that instant burning feeling that something is really, really bad, and in the back of your mind you're thinking, man, I never want to ride a horse again. But then the next thought is you're thinking, oh, when can I get back up? I need to get back up as soon as possible, just because it's all we know to do is be a jockey and compete.
Can you breathe at that point?
A little bit. The EMT, which he was a great guy. He took both EMTs. They did really good getting me off the racetrack, and they were trying to talk to me, get my name and stuff like that, and I was trying to get words out, and you were able to make the sound, but nothing would come out just because we had the collapsed lung.
How does it compare to other injuries you've had?
This is probably the most severe one, I'd say, because it just kind of, I've had injuries in the past before, but I've never been in a hospital where you're stuck in the trauma unit for 4 days and not knowing exactly what's going on. Most of the time, riding wise, you'll break a bone and go to the ER, they'll patch you up, and you'll be out later that night, and you go in a couple days, and they'll look at the x-rays and tell you how long you're out for. But then in this case, to be able to have to rush right into surgery and get my liver repaired right away, and then wait a couple more days to put the plates and the pins, the plates and the screws in the pins, it's definitely an eye-opening experience.
Have you had broken ribs before?
I've had bruised ribs before, and it's been painful, and
it only hurts when you breathe.
It only hurts when you do everything. That's what when they first came and they said, oh, we're going to plate 3 of your ribs, I was like, okay, that sounds good. Well, then the next morning the doctors came and they said, well, it's a little worse off than we thought. We're going to have to go ahead and plate 5 of them. But after the surgery, it was an instant relief of just being able to feel a whole lot better.
What is the recovery like? What do they tell you? What can you expect in the next few weeks?
I got discharged yesterday, and they're limiting me to only being able to pick up like 10 pounds. But that's the great thing about Churchill as well, is Churchill's got, they did a great job getting me in the trauma unit at UL, and they have a great program with Norton Sports Care. So the lady from Norton Sports Care, Tiff Hab is her name, she's been working with me. I just got off the phone with her, and we're trying to get myself into a rehab program as quickly as possible. So we're gonna, hopefully within the next day or 2, we'll start rehabbing and doing like minimal things that just to kind of get the body working again and get back on the right track.
What's the level of pain now?
Now, as long the doctors have done a great job of getting my pain medications correctly and just keeping me on a strict diet. And right now it's probably like a 2. As long as I stay on top of just managing everything, it's pretty good.
What's it going to be like tomorrow when Mystic Dan is running in the Lucas Classic?
It's
where you don't watch that here? I take it.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll watch it here. If I feel well enough, we might try to make a trip out to the track. I don't know. We'll see tomorrow. But it's just one of those deals. It's beyond our control, and we have to stay positive and knowing that he's going to run a good race, and just be proud of what a good horse he is, and hoping that he does run a big race so he can move on to the Breeders' Cup and showcase his true talents at the end of the year.
I mean, have you actually discussed going to the track tomorrow? Seriously?
I haven't talked to my wife yet about it, but she's going to a horse show. So if she's at the horse show and I'm home by myself, you can always Uber it down.
What do you have a timetable in the back of your mind? Are you like, I want to get back? I mean, I guess broken ribs, they say it takes at least 6 weeks to heal.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never had broken ribs, but and 6 weeks is looking, it's around Halloween kind of.
They're saying, the doctors, I talked to the doctor yesterday, and like she said, the broken ribs, with them being plated and stuff like that, that's not the biggest issue. I mean, I can go back to riding if it was just the ribs and doing the surgery like I did, I could go back to riding within 2 weeks. But the biggest thing they're worried about is the liver. With with the laceration of the liver, because if we redamage the liver it could be fatal. So that's the one thing that we're really looking at is looking at the liver, that you don't want to redamage that. So I'm going to work really hard the next few weeks with the doctors and all the rehab clinics and try to be back. I'd love to be back for Breeders' Cup if possible. You know, that's a hefty goal to try to make, but at the same time, if I can do it, I'm going to work as hard as I can to do it.
What is the prognosis for the liver? What do they tell you about that and that?
It's just one of those organs that has to reheal itself, and they got the bleeding to stop right away, but in the same aspect, you only have one liver, so you can't take too much damage to it. You have to actually take really good care of it, and if something does, like she said, if something does burst in your liver again and something happens, it could be fatal quickly. So it's one of those things that we're just gonna have to keep looking after.
How quickly do you say when it first happened and the horse steps on you, you're like, I don't ever want to ride a horse again? And then how quickly does it come back to you, like you said, where, all right, let's get ready, let's get back out of here?
Yeah, you know, especially now that the last time I was injured, I didn't have 3 kids and a family back home looking after me as compared to this time we do. So, you know, it puts in the back of your mind, you don't want to be back, you don't ever want to put them in this situation again where they're scared for their dad to be stuck in a hospital and stuff like that. So in the back of your mind, you're thinking about the kids, that you don't want to put them in that situation. But then at the same time, you're thinking, I've worked the last 20 years to get to this position, to be in this situation, riding really good horses. So it's kind of, it flip-flops from one moment to the next, that you're thinking, you got it both ways in your mind.
Were the kids at the track?
No, the kids weren't at the track. They were watching it at home here, but Jamie and my oldest daughter, Jocelyn, and the youngest daughter, Annabelle, they came to the emergency room with her, and they seen me there in the trauma center, and then after that, it kind of scared them, and they didn't want to come back to the hospital, so they didn't come back to the hospital for the next few days. So I didn't get to see them again until I made it home last night.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What
yeah.
was that like when you,
that's
when you walk in and see them and you know that they've had a tough couple days?
Yeah, that's the toughest thing. That's like this morning when we got up at 6 a.m. this morning. I hurried up and I ran into Annabelle's room. She's 5, and I made sure and gave her a hug, and I was like, I really miss you. It's because when we were there at the hospital, she didn't want to get anywhere near me because she was scared of all the machines and stuff like that. So it's real eye-opening to see how much they care.
You could teach them a pretty valuable lesson here too, though. But I mean, when you get back there, it shows that you can pretty much overcome anything.
Yeah, that's supposed to be your goal in life. I think you want to be the best you can at everything you can, and just when things get thrown at you, you just got to overcome it.